what a move on today's market. We've actually got a sell trade on the DAX literally happening right now as what we call a continuation sell trade. Just trigger on the close of this bar at 10,620. Here we are about 40 points, 50 points on side as this market is just bleeding. Why is it coming off now? Well, the US is just open and we're limit down in the US market at the moment. So it's just actually come back in. I think we've just had a little bit more movement on the US for the S&Ps. No, it's still not coming in. It's trying to reopen, but we're not getting the movement there. So limit down is when it's hit its maximum limit for the day until before the open really kicks in. And the market's just not being able to trade again. So what's that doing to the equity markets elsewhere? Well, US traders are having to hedge their short exposure, the sell side. So what they're doing is they're shorting the European indices in order to create that hedge for them. And it's just creating a bit of a bloodbath in the market at the moment. So the DAX down about 500 points now as it continues to bleed. Remember that sell trade from 10,620. Now we are at 10,560. Massive sell trade. And what I want to do is just get into some of the moves from today, look at those opportunities. Where could we have found some trades from looking at the DAX here, which is one of our go-to markets. Definitely the DAX in the morning, and then as you move throughout the day, moving more towards the Dow for some other opportunities really there. But we'll keep an eye on this one a little bit later on. Certainly, if I wasn't talking to you, if I was trading this right now, I've been moving my stops down pretty tight now. Certainly, just try and stay in the trade. Putting a stop just above here, so maybe at 10,590. So that's covering about 30 pips. There are 30 points there. Ordinarily, you understand, would be using the arrows for our trail. But you know what? When it's had such an explosive start already, we want to be covering some of that profit, particularly when the market can snap back quite aggressively right on that US Open. But we'll see how we go with that one. Really, what I want to do is just go back and have a look already from the movements this morning. Anyone who was up early would have been able to get into some fantastic moves. I mean, we can go all the way back to sort of 2-3 o'clock in the morning if you really want to, but a lot of the action really taking place from that sort of 5 to 5 this morning. Now, perhaps unrealistic to be trading or even talking about these trades at this point, but there were some big moves there, and it's really started off with a sell trade right on the open of the 454 bar. And I know it sounds ridiculous, but I just want to go through these trades just so that we get an idea about how we could identify these trading opportunities using these strategies. And sell there from the open of that bar, that's at a price of 10,886, and you can see how the subsequent fall, just like the one that's happening right now, has really gone on to what, about a 60 point or 80 point move there. So a significant fall down to those lows without any real form of pullback really was there. Sort of a minor one here perhaps, but otherwise all the way down there. Worst case scenario really on that arrow getting knocked out here for a very sizable profit. Worst case maybe around sort of 50 pips on this opportunity there. Then the market had a bit of a lift and can't get on this trade unfortunately, because when we start to get the potential buying opportunity, which is really here, it's against the trend, and with these arrows being inside, that's it's exhibiting normal price behavior. So when it's normal price behavior, we need to see us with the trend, and it isn't. Okay, it's against. That's why we've got the orange line there. So it means we've just got to hold back and wait for the next trading opportunity. And really, the next opportunity really comes at 644. Scratch that. We had a buy here at 622 on the close of this bar, the open of this bar, and there was a really nice lift on that market there. So we're with the trend, and look, we're explosive move with the arrow outside of this band. When we're outside the band, it's suggesting this market is going to have a decent bit of a move, and so it ended up being, as I said, just simply that, a nice move higher, really from the open of this bar at 10,907, rallying around sort of 40-50 points or so, and again without any real form of pullback until after that trade is done. That then rolled us into a short, and this is one of the big trades for today. I would say at 644, and I know you've got to be up early to do this, but it doesn't really matter in a way, because it's just an exercise in terms of the identification of the trades. Now here, and just full disclosure, I wasn't up at this time. I think my alarm was just about to go off or whatever, but I wasn't trading at this point. But doesn't mean a lot of our traders weren't, particularly if they'd had a look at where we opened over the with the oil news and so on. So big moves here, trading on the open of this bar 10,899, so a little bit higher than the prior short trade, and you can see here really big aggressive fall. Actually quite an irritating move, because trading according to the arrow knocks you out here. Don't get me wrong, it's still about a 70-point profit, but my word, what another big leg it was, and actually really frustrating, because there just wasn't the opportunity to get on that next move. There wasn't a continuation there. It's just one of those things. Unfortunately, you're not going to get every pip of every single move, but having said that, it was a nice profitable trade straight out of the textbook on the close of that bar open of this bar here. There are a few continuations as you get on the next wave, like here. There's another sort of continuation trading opportunity there, but what I want to do is really focus on the sort of more standard sort of trading opportunities, as the market gave us a big sort of lift here. No buy, not giving us the right criteria. Again, like that previous buy, inside the channel with the arrows, which means we mean to be with the trend. It's not, it's against the longer term trend there with that orange line, which means it's a downtrend. So we can't take that, but that's okay, it's fine. You're not going to be on every move. We then roll into an up move here, continuation buy, continuation buy, continuation buy, and these are big moves there. In terms of those next swing trades though, the next swing trade opportunity was really at 2 minutes past 10, and we had to wait a little while until here. And this was a fascinating move as well, because from there, you know, the market had another sort of 90 or so point fall before then having a little bit of a lift. Plenty of profit potential in a 90-point fall, particularly with a market like the DAX, where 90 points is really big. It is not big at the moment on the Dow. Normally is, it is not, but on the DAX it remains a big move. This is to be the equivalent, if this was the Dow, if the Dow was still trading and not limit down, this would really be the equivalent of probably about 150 to 200 point move, at least on the Dow right now. So that was a really nice move. We then had another sell trade here at 10.42 on the open of this bar here. A little bit of a move, maybe a little bit of sniff of a profit there. Perhaps there 11.20, maybe chopped out on the stop there. 11.20. We had another sell, which was here, right on the open of this bar. A sell trade there, and you know what? It looked pretty iffy off that first bar, but there's the stop arrow, and see how it trailed it. Give it room to breathe, everybody. Allow the trade to develop into profit. Once it's moved into profit, you can start to move that stop down, but you've got to give it a bit of room first to have that little wriggle. Allow that, you know, that conflict between buyers and sellers to really take place. And as the market then continued to fall down from 11.20, worst case, stop down to that arrow down to 10.688, and remember the sell there up at 10.770. So that's about a 100 point move down to that arrow. Very nice move there, really nice profitable opportunity, which then rolls us into the next trading opportunity really for us was then another sell trade here at 104, so 4 minutes past 1, and another big sell off from there, looking like getting knocked out of that trade here. Remember when I said about the stop? It's knocked us out there, it's fine. You know, that's how I would have taken it if I wasn't doing this video, but it is what it is, and then ended up being a nice 30 or 40 point move on that trade happening right live straight away. Interesting markets at the moment. They are volatile. You've got to give it a bit of room, but once it starts to move into your profit, you can start to move those stops a little bit tighter. I mean, if you look at this move down here, as it starts to move, there's your entry here, and it's starting to break down and down, lower highs off these candlesticks constantly. Give it a little bit of room, allow it to get down there till eventually the arrow taking us out. You can be more active with your trade management, the more experienced you are, but there's some fantastic trading opportunities right now. What's going to happen for the rest of the day or this week? Well, my word, there is a lot to be taking in at the moment. If you're interested in the fundamentals, it is a fascinating time. If you're not, if you're just going to trade off the technicals, then please ride the momentum. The momentum is there. You've just got to be able to find it. Continuation trades like here at 136, sell swing trades like here at 4 minutes past 1. The opportunities is there. It's just about finding them. Okay, have a great day's trading, everybody. Stay safe. Okay, there are some smelly trading opportunities out there if you're on the wrong side of these trends, yeah, hope it all goes well.
If you would like more information about trading the right way, Trend Signal is giving you the opportunity to see and hear about its services live at a free online seminar. Take a look at the Trend Signal website for the latest events and to book your free place.